Check 1 2 3 1 2 3. Check. Check 1 2 3 1 2 3. Check. Okay, if you're just joining us here, we had some audio issues. We think we've got that squared away. I've got about 16 people getting ready to tackle me here in the parking lot because we didn't have audio. But I think we have the audio squared away, and apologies for that. But happy to have everybody here now. Hey, thanks, Billy Porter, Keith Perry, Lewis Johnson. Yeah, we've got some audio now, but we've got things rolling along here this afternoon as we get you ready for the Rams send-off to Kroger Field. But as you can see here in the distance, there's a lot of people that's out here to support this team and head off to Lexington as they go to try to bring home the first ever state championship in 98 seasons. It's the Rams well over 1,000 games in their program history. They're barreling down on 600. That would come next season. They can't get there from this year, but it's a lot of milestones coming up for this program that's looking to move forward. But a big one tomorrow, high noon against Pikeville. It's been one of those that people have talked about all season long, including me. At the very beginning of the season, we said that if it's anybody besides Pikeville and Raceland, it's probably a travesty in Class A. And the RPI tried to do everything it could to keep those two away from each other in the state title game. But it's kind of funny how things work itself out. You get the two best teams in Class Single A football that are there and are going to play on the carpet, and rightfully so. I think they are easily the two best teams. And again, they're programs. They're not just football teams. They're programs. You got to give a hat tip to Coach McNamee and Pikeville and everything that they've done with their program, and the same thing with Mike Salmons here. In his 10th season, close to a 100-win total as a head coach here in Ramland. That would come next year. Oddly enough, 100 wins would be the exact time that the Rams get their 600th win. Funny how those numbers come together too. So. But the Rams, they left no doubt when they beat KCD last week on Black Friday down in Louisville. It was just an absolute dominating game, and that's kind of what they were expected to do, and they took care of business. So now can they make that next step forward and get over the hump and take care of their arch nemesis in Pikeville? And, how fitting would it be for the first ever Pikeville Raceland state championship game that goes for the Rams' favor? I talked with Coach Salmons a little bit yesterday, and I said, Coach, what's the uniforms this week? They're going to go with white on black. And he said, we'll switch it up a little bit. They were black on black in 2017. They were all white last year. So we'll see how things work out. But we'll start grabbing some players, some coaches here in just a minute as we're about ready to send the Rams off to Kroger Field in Lexington for the state title. Stay tuned with us here on Cool TV. All right, here with quarterback Logan Lundy. We talked at the end of last season. We talked at the beginning of this season. This was something, one of those big goals for you as a senior. You wanted to get back to Kroger Field.
Of course, yeah. We got to last year. We figured out the standard. We figured out what it took to, get there and finish, and we feel pretty good about this year coming into it.
You had some bumps and some roller coaster ride there in the beginning of the year. There was a lot of pieces that changed after last season. After 15 seniors that graduated, a lot of your offensive pieces were gone. It took you guys some time to kind of find that niche. When did you feel like that kind of came together?
Like we said, we replaced 5 offensive linemen basically, and a handful of receivers. So early in the year, that harder schedule worked. And like about week 8 or 9, we really started rolling as a team. We built that chemistry. And of course, it takes a minute to get going, and it did. And I feel like we're in a good spot right now.
You look at the Highlands loss. There was a lot of people like, "Oh God, what happened here?" But after that, things really started coming together. I know you and I would talk about it. It seemed like the game really started out.
Yes, it did. Once you play them 5A powerhouses, and then we see that speed, we see how they play. We get back into 1A football, the game tends to slow down a little bit. And, that was a big growth, a piece of growth part for our team, and it's really worked in our favor this year.
You go back to the game against Michael. It was a long time ago. It was week 4. How much do you have to just look at that game and say, okay, it was a good game, it was a good win, but you got to take a lot away from it because of what's going to play out tomorrow?
Yeah, correct. That was 3-4 months ago. That game doesn't matter anymore. We've grown as a football team. They've grown as a football team. I think we're 2 different teams, since the game. So, like I said, I don't take much from that game. I think we've both changed a lot. We've both grown. So we'll see what happens, tomorrow.
Coach Salmon's always talks about an opportunity for 7 more days.
Yeah.
For you as a senior, you got 1 more left. What's it take tomorrow to get a state championship?
It's going to be a good game. A lot of respect for Pikeville, their coach, McNamee, their players. They're very well coached. And like Sam said, they're the standard for 1A football right now. And we're chasing it, We know what it takes to be on the top. And I think we can't turn the ball over. We can't have stupid, costly penalties. We just have to go in there. We have to get going from the start. No slow starts. And I think, if we do that, we'll be happy with where it ends.
Getting a chance to secure the first ever state championship in the school district, how big would that be to get that over Pikeville to our nemesis?
That would be huge for me. That's something I dreamed about. I think that's something we've all dreamed about since we were little. And Raceland, they've never done that before. It would be monumental for this town. And I think that's what's driving us a lot, Like I said, if we do what we do, I think we're going to have a good night. Like Spencer said, get the fire trucks gassed up.
Logan, best of luck, my man. Safe travel. Logan Lundy joining us here. So hang with us here, guys. Again, we're trying to work through some audio issues that we're having here on site, but hopefully everything is getting out there somewhat. But players are about ready to emerge from the locker room and join us on the buses here to get them rolling out. We'll talk with head coach Mike Salmons in just a few moments as well. But stay with us here as the Rams get ready to have the send-off to Kroger Field as we continue our coverage here on Cool TV. Check, check, 1, 2, 1, 2. Hang on, I think we got check, check, 1, 2, 1, 2. I think we got it. We'll see.
Let's try here.
We'll try it here.
If not, record it.
Yeah. All right. Joined with Mike Sammons, head coach for the Raceland Rams. Coach, I talked to Mr. Coldiron just a moment ago. I said it's kind of becoming a thing of the norm. First Friday in December, you guys are playing football.
Yeah, you never want to take things for granted, and obviously thankful and grateful for this and the opportunity to go. Obviously, the school system beats around this football team, and so, I think it's great that we got some consistency, some familiarity, and hopefully we can change the outcome tomorrow.
When you look at where this team started back in August and where you are now, all of those games that people looked at and he's like, why are you playing Highlands? Why are you playing LCA? This right here is the reason.
Yeah, I mean, our schedule prepared us. When we built the schedule, we built with this in mind. Obviously, you have the RPI effect, but that stuff looks out of your control. What you control is on the field, and if you take care of the things you need to take care of, it doesn't matter where you play. If you have the better football team, it'll show, and our team's been able to do that the last couple of weeks. And for us to go on the road has really been no big deal. And I really feel like tomorrow, when we have those adverse moments, we'll be able to lean on some of the experiences that we've had throughout this journey.
You look across our shoulders here, this community support, it's been second to none all season long. They've traveled well. It was probably a 3-to-1 ratio, Rams fans to KCD last week down in Louisville.
Yeah, I mean, our people are really passionate about football. I've often said sometimes people call them crazy, but you'd rather be somewhere where people are passionate than the other side, than the antithesis of that. So obviously our people really support this football team, and I'm sure tomorrow down at Kroger there'll be a sea of orange.
You look at a chance, again, 98 seasons it's been, this program's been in existence, still no state titles, but a chance here against your arch nemesis of Pikeville. How big would that be?
Yeah, I mean, you can't get caught looking ahead. Obviously, I think for all the people that's come before us and got us to this point, there would be a lot of gratification there, a lot of satisfaction for those people. That some of them people unfortunate that we want them before us. But the big thing for us is staying in the moment. We got to be where our feet are and play the next play and let the course of 48 minutes take its effect. And you can't get caught scoreboard watching. You can't get caught looking backwards. You just got to be in the moment. And that's kind of who we've been all year. I think even when bad things have happened. Last week we were able to play from ahead, but a week before, we played from behind on a couple different occasions, and our guys just really keep pounding us like we're built on, and I would expect no different tomorrow, particularly led by our 16 seniors.
Coach, safe travels. I'll see you tomorrow at Kroger Field.
Yeah, we'll be there. Thank you, guys.
Mike Sammons joining us here in the send-off for the Raceland Rams as they get ready to head off to Kroger Field. As you can kind of take a look off the side here, a large collection of the fans in attendance here that they want to see this team head off. Last year, it was, they went to Kroger Field and they went up against a gauntlet to go through a very, very tough Pikeville team. I think there was a lot of people that would agree that the Pikeville team last year, they probably would have won a couple of different classifications. This year, take nothing away from Pikeville. They are a very good football team. But this Raceland Rams team, they're right there with them. And I think this is going to be a phenomenal matchup down in Kroger Field. I'll be with you beginning at 11:30 tomorrow for Countdown to Kickoff on Cool Hits 105.7 FM, as well as on the app and on our YouTube page. We'll have our audio-only stream, so you got plenty of ways that you can tune in and listen to us live. Kickoff at high noon for the first of 6 state championship games this coming weekend. They'll play 1, 2, and 4A tomorrow, and then 3, 6, and 5 on Saturday. But the Rams, they'll make the business trip. They'll go down. They're going to stop at Clark County, and they'll do a practice, kind of a walkthrough today. And then on tomorrow, they'll arrive at the stadium around 10 o'clock, and they'll be ready to get rolling at noon. So buses are loaded. It's a business trip to, again, head off to Lexington as the Raceland Rams get ready to try to bring home the first ever state championship in this program's 98-year history. And Spencer Hutchinson, he said it earlier this week. He said, gas those fire trucks up. They're going to need them come Friday night when they bring this team back home. But Rams pulling out, heading for Lexington as they depart the high school. It's one thing that with the Rams, too, is they like traveling on what they call the old yellow dogs. They're just the regular school buses. No charter buses or anything. Mike Salmon said that's just not who we are. Said we're blue collar, and that's the way we like it. So That's going to do it for us here. Rams off to Kroger Field. We'll be with you tomorrow beginning at 11:30 again on Coolidge 105.7 FM, the Coolidge Sports Network app, and on Cool TV with the audio-only stream. For Spencer Hutchinson, I'm James Collier. Taylor Heath, thanks for tuning in. We'll see you tomorrow down at Kroger Field.